Hello Facebook, happy day, happy journey, happy life. I just wanted to take a few moments and pop in, share a really helpful tip that I've used to have more productive and open conversations with people on really hot, conflicting topics. And the technique is called the agreement frame. Basically how it works is you start off with three phrases. It's just an example of three phrases whose purpose is to connect and appreciate and respect and provide common ground with the other person, linking it with the word and then expressing your view. And the reason why this works is because when you use a word other than and, like but or however, it creates kind of a subconscious barrier between you and the other person, and it closes them off to really hearing what you say because they don't feel like you've adequately heard them or respected them or understand where they're coming from. And also, it is a fact that people feel more familiar with people who are like themselves, and that includes having different views. So if we can use the word and, we create that unity between you and the other person, and it makes an open conversation easier to have. So here's how it works. The first part of the conversation or of the argument would be a unifying statement like, I appreciate that you, example. I respect that, example. Or I understand that, example. Then you would link it with the word and. And then after the word and, you state your views or your arguments. After you do that, you will realize that they feel understood and heard, and you also are able to kind of educate them on your side as well, while still accepting their point of view. This is not to say that you agree with it, and you don't ever have to agree with it, but that you acknowledge that they have that point of view, and that you still hold them as a human being, not as something below a human being because they have a certain view, which is what I've seen a lot of people do in their arguments, and why it gets so heated, because subconsciously they might see the other person as an enemy or subhuman or just a general disrespect. And I've studied marriage counseling. Dr. John Gottman, he says that, he can predict divorce by looking at the way couples fight. And a large part of it is if they show contempt toward their partner, the risk of divorce is very high, I think over 90% or 85 to 90%. And contempt is basically disrespect for the person, who they are inside. So if you just start with those three unifying phrases, I respect that, and here's my view. I appreciate that you feel so passionately about that, and have you considered, or something like that, your view, you're able to have a more open and productive conversation. And I think another tip that helped me along my journey is when you're doing this right, when you're doing this technique right, when you feel a change in your heart. So sometimes when you're confronted with somebody with a different view, or they attack you, you might feel inside your gut like, oh my God, shrivel and, just pain or anxiety or something like that. And then you bat back with an argument that doesn't come from a place of love and understanding, but, maybe from a place of anger. So what helped me a lot is before I reply, and I use these techniques like, I appreciate that and rather than but, and. Before I use these techniques, I check, how do I feel inside my heart? If I feel soft and open and like I'm truly understanding what is the main message that they're trying to send, because sometimes people have words and their words don't always convey what they really mean inside, So once I listen, stop, listen, appreciate, I'm able to come up with a right response. And I'm able to find the root cause, the root concern, and the root hurt inside what the other person is trying to say. Because sometimes it's not just about looking at the words, it's looking deeper than the words, and what is the root? What is the person really insecure about? What is the person really worried about? And then taking that on for just 1 second, appreciating it, and then introducing your point of view in a more open, constructive way. So I hope this technique helped you guys. I hope this technique encourages everyone to have more productive and open conversations, especially when things get heated. And I really hope that this technique adds a little more light and love in the world, adds a little more unity, adds a little more leadership, because that's my goal with all these talks, just add some techniques that bring some light and love and some unity in the world. This is what we all need right now. So for the action step for this video, leave a comment below. Let me know who you intend to use this technique with and what happened.